Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus, where we lost the last run. We were in like a bad spot, and then it got re-rolled into the worst spot that you could ever imagine. NKMM, NKDH, what a strange seed here. As you play as Maggie, well, with 2020, so already life is great. But basically, we're gonna start doing some random runs again. I like to, you know, I do Eden runs, and then I die. And I do random runs, then I die, and then I do Eden runs, and then I die. I take a whiskey drink, I take a lager drink, I take a schnapps drink, I take a cider drink, I don't remember. There's only 4 different kinds of drinks, and they're all talked about in Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba, so I can't believe I've forgotten some here. Definitely you sing the songs that remind you of the good times, and then you sing the songs that remind us of the best times. I got trapped on a rock there. But yeah, like, the last run, I do take some responsibility, but no matter what, we were always going to reroll that run. As long as there was a reroll machine at the end, we were going to reroll, because it's a non-daily run. On non-daily runs, unless there's, like, some mitigating circumstances, you reroll. Because if you don't reroll, you're a little baby. Okay? That's just what it comes down to. And this is not NL the character. This is NL the real voting citizen. If you don't play the video game the way I play this video game, you're a little baby, okay? Obviously, I'm being a little facetious here, but we're gonna hope that we get an arcade on the next floor. It's like the perfect combination right now. Easy boss, plus we already have 7 cents, means we get an arcade on the next floor probably, because we don't have to use our bomb right now. We can use that to get a spirit heart perhaps on the next floor, and then deal with the devil comes easy as well. So I'm thinking that, you know, conservative estimate, definitely we're getting a blood bag next floor. Probably getting a deal with the devil, which means we're going to get brimstone. So brimstone plus blood bag. And then, you know, why not just throw on, like, the pact for good measure as well. We're going to head down to the next floor right off the bat and make that dream come true. I think it could happen. You always want... There's 2 different ways the runs go after a loss. I mean, there's probably more than 2 different ways, but... there's 2 ways that seem to happen frequently. Either you steamroll, and it feels like the game's giving you, like, a little bit of an easy time as a result of the fact that you lost recently. Or they really start throwing the heat at you, and they go, oh, you lost? Well, get ready, because now here's a run that has, like, literally no benefits. And obviously, this run is disqualified from having no benefits, because 2020 is probably a top 10 item in the game. Sometimes I say that, and people go, you know, oh, top 10, like, it's better than top 10. I don't know, man. Top 10 is really, really good. It's just like, it seems like it should be better than the top 10, because there's also a lot of items in Isaac that do absolutely nothing, or they actively hurt you, for that matter. But to be in the top 10 is a huge admission of an item being amazing. Like, 2020 effectively, productively doubles your DPS, which is something that doesn't happen all that much. Like, you almost never hit with one tier and miss with the other one, just by virtue of how close together they are. So you get matchbook for an evil upgrade, and then, that's not really what I was looking for, but at the same time, if we can get, like, IV bag, we can productively stay in the Whore of Babylon state, and that's good. This is obviously small rock. I mean, there's just, oh, jeez. Well, we'll loot perchance to get a key, and hopefully that'll come to fruition. We need a key to get into our shop anyway to begin with, but we need a key to get into our item room to begin with, even before beginning with that other category, I suppose. So throw this down here and see how life works. 2 more spirit hearts. It's getting a little ridiculous at this point. Definitely should have used a bomb to get 2 bombs first, but still sitting pretty. And we do get an arcade, so the blood bag... You know, prophecy, oh no. All of my prophecies are coming false right now. I would spend all of our money here to hopefully get a key, so let's see what we can do. It's a, you know, pretty fly. I think that's not unacceptable. We did get a key. As far as I'm concerned, 10 cents for a pretty fly and a key is not that bad. I can live with it at least. That's not our secret room, which is kind of blowing me away. So, I mean, we don't have any bombs, so we actually have to use a key here, even if the secret room is adjacent. Bursting sack. Not really worth maybe anything, but... In fact, I'm like, does this contribute to any kind? Is there a spider transformation? No, I don't believe so. So, we're kind of just out here. This would be a great time to get Guppy's head. Still conceivable. Could have easily been tagged there, to be honest with you. Not conceivable any longer. Out here in the fields, I conceive of my deals. I just can't hit that note. I'm trying. You might be saying, oh, you're singing wrong. No, you don't. The throat doesn't constrict enough to make that note hittable. My throat, at least. Fate's reward. I put my back into my living. Thank you. I appreciate it. Really much appreciated. Fate's reward. Hey, it's something. I mean, we got more than enough HP to feel completely safe about doing this. Wouldn't be a bad time to get a Joker card. Lovers is not worth much considering our present situation. Chaos. Okay, now you can start to think about it. You know what I like to call the Chaos card? Because I'm doing my impression of Peter Baelish from Game of Thrones. The card looks like a ladder. Well, I mean, it's still giving us something here, so let's keep going for it. I mean, it was actually, like, relatively worth it. We got something out of these 3 keys of Catacombs 1. What we need... I mean, now we need more keys, hilariously enough. We basically put our keys in a key bagger, but it's a key bagger that always paid out until the one time it didn't, which strikes me as a better opportunity to use your keys than trying to get, like, you know, a humbling bundle after 30 keys donated or an attack fly after 30 keys donated. The Chaos card now brings to mind, you know, we should consider fighting Hush. If there's a reason to fight Hush, we should consider fighting Hush. Because the Chaos card makes that fight a very, very small price to pay for getting 2 doubled item rooms. And, you know, right now it doesn't look like a shop is going to be worth much for us, but that can change over the course of a whole run. I mean, yeah, it's very much in its infancy here early on. Come on with the, you know, I mean, thank you. Okay, we got another key. That key should go to the item room. Don't let the siren song of the golden chest trick you too much. To be honest with you, there probably is a case, well, you know, there's an empirical analysis to be done to determine whether or not this is the case. But it's possible that getting a Hierophant card for a key, like we did out of the Angelic chest, is actually a better expected value than the average item room for a key. But obviously the variance is a little lower as well, which is unfortunate because we would love to get like a, you know, Godhead or something out of it if possible. That's pretty good. Speed upgrade. That means we can absorb. That's how I think about speed upgrades now is, first off, if our speed is bad, then obviously it's nice. But even if our speed is good, this means that we can now absorb a speed downgrade without being too cheesed about it. So we can get like Small Rock now. We can get Kidney Stone. Not that that's something we'd aspire to, but we can get Kidney Stone without thinking it's too rough. That was a bad kick, but it still worked. And I mean, at this point, why not? Just see what you got. Could have been a good shop. Was not, but that's okay. I think it's very short-sighted. It is lacking vision to use the Chaos card to kill Gertie Jr. Gertie Jr. is already half dead. Have you seen how long it takes to kill Hush? I have. If you don't watch the dailies, you should. First off, because, you know, my livelihood. Secondly, though, because you'll get a real appreciation for how long those Hush fights can be in certain situations. So we get a range upgrade and a luck upgrade, along with a penny, and then five demon chests, 4 trolley bombs, 3 blue flies, 2 spirit hearts, and a pill that has given health up. You gotta admit, considering that song was written at runtime, it was appropriate at least. So that also, we beat the odds to get the deal with the devil, and then, sadly, the payoff from the deal with the devil was kind of garbage, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's not like, actually, never mind. It is like it hurts our chances, because it does compromise our deal with the devil chances on this floor. Or as I call them, our deal with the Chevels, apparently. It compromises our deal with the devil chances on this floor to have gotten a bad deal with the devil last floor. It's going to compromise it whether it's good or bad, but the fact that it was bad means it's compromising it for effectively nothing. But hey, all we got to do is beat the odds again, and then we're through the woods. Okay, I mean, it's great. Outbreak is an awesome item. I'm extremely pleased to have it. We're continually getting, like, just enough keys to be happy. But you could get too few keys to be happy, so just enough, as far as I'm concerned, is completely fine. Now we're looking for things that synergize with this, so, honestly, number 2. Anything that does damage over the scope of the room, I think, is valuable enough to consider as useful here. Like, dude, do they nerf chariot cards? Because, like, I swear, you used to be able to run into any non-boss enemy and kill him. Anyway, so Toxic Shock would also be awesome if we could get the teamwork to make the dream work there. And, you know, the outbreak's gonna spread here, so these guys are totally dusted. You don't have to pay attention to the outbreak to make it work, but, you know, we've still got 3.5 damage here, so we're kind of bringing up the rear when it comes to that. All we need to do is hopefully survive long enough to get a good payout there. I mean, outbreak, again, it helps. We're getting some things that make it easier for us to deal damage, or easier to kill enemies with low damage, like 2020 is another great example, but there's no substitute most of the time for just getting some raw damage. There's like one substitute, and the substitute is Mom's Knife. Even Brimstone usually requires a little bit of damage leverage, but I will say, you know, Outbreak's got a chance. It's helping us out. I mean, the run's good. Look at our HP. We're completely... We also... What? We got a damage upgrade from being on this room? But how? I'm looking at our items, and I'm like, no, seriously, but how? We got, like... It's like the longer you survive on a room with Outbreak, the more damage you get? Oh, no, you idiot. Samson's Lock. It's not great, but hey, you know, I'm not going to turn up my nose at some damage upgrades at this point. I'm not going to turn up my nose like the skater girl. Wait, no, she wasn't a skater girl. That's the problem. Like the girl in Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. All of her friends turned up their nose because they had a problem with his baggy clothes. You know what, you judgmental teens? You deserve to be pooped on by him when he makes it big on the X Games. I mean, sure, that's a career that lasts for about, you know, 14 minutes of TV time, give or take, but you turned up your noses at his baggy clothes, you judgmental so-and-sos. I mean, sure, Avril Lavigne wrote a song about you, and then forever you are enshrined as a jerk because of the things you did as a 16-year-old. But you're the dick in this situation. I mean, the song was probably not actually written about any real-world situation. It's not controversial to say. I mean, she probably just made Skater Boy up. You think? That's the most likely outcome, I'd say. She probably made the Skater Boy. And that's not bad. It's not like it makes the song any worse. I'm just trying to keep it, you know, on the level here. Oh, my Lanta. So we picked up My Shadow from the Deal with the Devil, which is like... Fair to say, it's not something to get too excited about. However, if we can get, like, IV Bag, which we can't get here, but if we can somehow get IV Bag, you know, on the next floor, we can start to make a lot of shadows, and then, you know, maybe one day that somehow correlates with us crushing it. But for now, we're kind of in, like, the world's longest holding pattern here, while we try to come up with something that makes us a little bit more excited about this run. Like, it would go a long way for my enjoyment if we could, if we can get a great item room here. The run's not terrible, again. Like, 2020 and Outbreak are doing all the heavy lifting. But we are starting to approach the point where I think... Even despite getting 2020 on literally the first room we walked into, we didn't spawn into, I can start to be like, you know, the RNG's kind of dried up on this one. We've gotten Whore of Babylon, but there's been no way to make Whore of Babylon work. And then, you know, we got to deal with the devil that ended up being garbage. We keep stocking ourselves well with Spirit Hearts. We're at, like, no risk of imminent death, but, you know, life can come at you pretty fast later on. And that's what has me worried a little bit. I think we got lucky. That guy was moving at the end there. There's a lot of items that can bridge the gap for us right now, though. Like, just off the top of my head, Pyro. Obviously, Dr. Fetus, Epic Fetus, but even just getting Pyro would be, like, enough. 99 bombs. We could use 2 bombs per room, and almost certainly by the end of our bombs, we would have gotten an item that would make life a little bit more survivable for us here. Or at least, you know, enemy life a little bit less survivable. That, I mean, the sad thing is we can afford to take that damage, but we shouldn't. That's just, that's lazy damage right there. I'm not trying to min-max Outbreak too much, but if we can get the first enemy to die near a lot of other enemies, this guy is having some trouble. That's the dream. Sissy Longlegs is very, very good. As like, it's the kind of item you're always going to be a little happy to have. So I'm certainly not anti-Sissy Longlegs, but it's not quite the coup we were hoping for, I think. That's okay, you know, the more spiders, the merrier. I mean, they are going to do double 3.50 damage, which is not a ton, but certainly not nothing. Plus, how can you hate Sissy Longlegs? Just kind of walking around there being like, hey, mind if I make your run slightly better? And you're like, no, Sissy Longlegs. Thanks for donating your time to make my run slightly better. There is so no reason for us to take damage. I'm not even going to talk about the second hit, but... That's bad. Yeah. Yeah, somehow... Oh! I thought we were completely out of the hitbox. I got overly cocky. So there is a Tinted Rock. Can I get you to shoot over here? Because I used all my bombs. I guess he has no eyes, so he doesn't really know where we are. So we still gotta deal with the devil. And the deal with the devil, of course, was my shadow. I'm thinking about my shadow. When you gonna bring it? When you gonna bring it? We are just, like, being starved here. Again, this kind of run is hard to complain about. You get 20-20 right off the bat, and then you complain, people think you're being very ungrateful. And to some extent, they're not wrong. But you're on floor 6. All your stats but speed and luck are basically at the default level. Leaves you in an unenviable spot. The run has so much leeway when it comes to surviving. Like, that's... If we were on, like, 2 HP, we'd probably be dead. And, you know, the amount of Spirit Hearts we got on this run was ridiculous. But if we were on 2 HP, we probably wouldn't have made it. But we're on 5 plus infinity, apparently. So that's... I mean, more options, I think, is fine. And we'll donate as much money as we can here to try to, you know, amp up our luck factor at least a little bit. We got a 2-cent key. That doesn't happen all that often. We did get a luck upgrade, so it ended up working out. But we need more, and I'm not ashamed to say it at this point. Maybe, you know, 10 minutes ago that sends the wrong message. But right now, this run is real bad from a stat standpoint. It's got some good utility. It's in a comfortable place, but that's going to change. You know, it's like we're in an armchair that has a time bomb strapped to it. Sure, it's a lazy boy, but that doesn't mean you want to sit in it until it literally blows up. So we're just going to keep, you know, doing the... We're leaving consumables behind because I'm kind of trying to go a little bit faster. I'm willing to sacrifice Spirit Hearts to get into this Curse Room and hopefully pop, but we need to... get something. A teleport card here would allow me to get into boss rush and get out, so I would be into it. We want to come back for chaos. Luckily, we don't have to worry about it because the cards are kind of garbage. This item room is of the, like, unbelievable utmost importance. No, you don't get a chance to... You don't get a chance to go. As close as we probably are to the boss room, I don't think we're gonna... I mean, even this is not that good, but I don't think we're going to be able to make boss rush, honestly. It was. Algiz. Also good, but you gotta keep the Chaos card at this point. Even if we only use it for one boss, like, at the very end. Juicy Sack is just okay. It's not bad. It's just okay. And that, you know, honestly, that describes a lot of the items we picked up on this run. You know, we're trying to build a good university transcript here out of just C pluses. Again, you know, C's get degrees, man, but I'm trying to be a little bit more entertaining and impressive here. And really starting to get to the point where I'm not sure it's gonna happen. Like, I'm tempted to open that golden chest, despite the fact that it'll definitely cost me a spirit heart. Now, I'm not gonna do it because that's just actually stupid, but the temptation is genuinely there. All we can really do, I think, is have hope that it's gonna come together here. That was, by the way, our last opportunity for there's options, or more options as well, so what is going on here? Many bombs, many keys, and battery charges that we're never going to be able to use. I don't think we're going to make boss rush regardless. So I straight up, I think you'd take the time to open that, and then we'll try to get to it. But I don't think it's likely. Let's leave it at that. And I don't think we should, like, overextend ourselves to try. I don't even think we should use bombs to try. I just don't think it's likely at this point. Plus, we'd have to fight boss rush. So you're watching, like, the rare, willing opt-out of boss rush. It's just not, it's not right for this run. Takes a lot for me to say that. Trying to keep my APM up. I see people doing that in Battlegrounds, and that's how I know that game's starting to pass me by on the community side. Let's go. Okay, here we go. We got a good item. And to be honest with you, I sort of think I might just take Sister Maggie for extra damage. But Succubus is not good because of the damage buff, but that's okay. You know, it's helpful. It's good because of the damage it'll do without us having to be right next to an enemy. So that's really the be-all, end-all of this item. I mean, Bloody Penny's got something going for it here. I think we could definitely consider that. It is fair to suggest that we need more damage, so maybe Samson's Lock isn't that bad, but and it isn't that bad, but it's not what we need. It doesn't have enough of what we need. If I'm being 100% clear, neither is Succubus. We need some... Succubus is, it's an Ouroboros, you know, it's a two-way street. That's not what an Ouroboros is, but you get the idea. It's, this is a situation where we need more damage to make Succubus do more damage so that we don't need to have as much damage as we already have. Like, Succubus does damage proportional to our existing damage stats, so it's kind of bad right now, to be honest with you. We know this? These bombs are key, right? Yeah. Alrighty. I think we take this, because I do think that survival's going to be dangerous starting pretty soon. Would you say that your safety is not guaranteed? Sure, you know. Why not? It's an internet meme. We got him, boys. I think Bloody Penny... Demon's Tail is better if you know, or you're confident at least, that you're not going to have to use red hearts. I'm not that confident we're not going to have to use red hearts anymore. By the way, straight up, I think we're going to probably not make the Hush fight. I would be content to make it. Because as long as we don't whiff with the Chaos card, we get 2 item rooms, 4 golden chests, or maybe red chests, depending on how things go, but 4 golden chests and a shop, and we can afford the shop. So, like, there's a lot of good stuff that we could get as a result of being there. And we really can use anything. So I'm not in a position to be making, you know, I will only go down there if we get something great. Really, like, anything that improves our damage is great. But I really, literally think we will not make it. I don't think we can get there in time. I don't think we will get there in time, rather. Should get the key. And Bloody Penny is really going to look idiotic until it doesn't, I think, is the best way I can describe it. Is probably right at the outset. It would be great for me if this was never useful for us on this run. That would, in most cases, probably indicate that we won, to be honest. So I would be content. But this is a perfect outbreak room. We're just taking High Priestess for now as well, so we can hopefully, you know, poop on the boss, lose as few Spirit Hearts as possible. But I do expect that, you know, we'll probably end up making Bloody Penny prove that it's got some value to it. Sadly. Dude, I don't know. Like, this is... It's funny. On the last run, we had 90 damage. So, we had 90 damage and we complained. We complained for great reasons. Because 90 damage doesn't mean anything if every time you tap the button, there's like a 70% chance you get hit. Because you have 7 range and Ipecac with Mom's Eye. But the irony is not lost on me, I'll admit. That now I'm on this run and I'm like, please God, provide for me. Like, we're gonna get hit, yeah. Provide for me something here, anything. It's not unreasonable to ask for 1 damage upgrade 7 floors into the game. It's very reasonable. I would like these guys to be on top of one another. Maybe I'm getting stuck in a value trap, though. I want High Priestess to hit both. He's basically a god. Still, one should be very close to death. I think it's that one. Wow. It's not conceivable that they're both, like, alive. We, as you know, I'll just be honest with you, we earned a deal with the devil there. We didn't get one, but we earned one. And I mean that. We played very well there. So now, it's the Bloody Penny Sweepstakes, everybody. The Bloody Penny Sweepstakes. We have 3 HP and close to base stats, plus 20/20 in Succubus. I know you're not going to let me forget about that one, and you're right, we shouldn't forget about it. But also, I mean, just, the speed is, like, really good, and it keeps getting better. And it's not like I wanted a Tears upgrade or anything like that. I mean, what good would a Tears upgrade be on a run like this? I mean, it wouldn't probably provide us with any benefit whatsoever to do more damage to enemies that otherwise could hurt us. I mean, what's the point? But still, dude. So we get at least a couple free plays on this. I think we should say, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't. I was thinking, like, never mind. We don't have to worry about a blood bank at all. Why was I even concerned? Yeah. That's fair. That's damage I deserved. It was through poor play. It's unfortunate that that lines up with us, you know, really, really wanting a deal with the devil on this floor. We're in a dangerous place. The half Spirit Heart helps. We need to stay at a half heart interval as much as possible. We gotta play this guy. It's basically what it all comes down to. And, you know, the standard EV from this guy is 1 HP. And I think that would give us a much greater chance of winning. Although, not as much as, like, any damage improvement would probably give us, but... Still, not in a position to really be making demands. Oh, I thought I had that lined up perfectly, but we should have gone slower there. Okay, we're back to 3.5. And this is where Bloody Penny and Yamahart both show, like, their chops. 2 items that have a tendency to get crapped on a little bit. Not that commonly used in this day and age, but on this run, they could be the difference, man. This could be a secret room. And if it's a secret room, we should try to make a play. Like, we should try to go, use it as, like, a launching point to get to a boss rush, potentially. I mean, that doesn't really interest me. And by boss rush, I mean hush fight. Because really, like, we can get through that hush fight. We can get through the first phase. Base stats, that should be, like, almost no problem. Just do not miss with the Chaos card or your life is over. And then the hush fight, we're doing it for the item rooms at this point. And the golden chest. Because the shop is maybe not as much of a lock as it was before that judgment. But the judgment provided us with something useful anyway. You know, all these red hearts. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, one day, you're gonna give me something here. Unlimited bombs. I don't want the heart if possible. Unlimited bombs is very good. Watch battery. Not as relevant as we would need it to be here. So it actually looks like we'll probably make the hush fight. Although I'm not sold that this mom's heart fight is going to finish that quickly. I think it's going to be a little rough, but should look for a second secret room while we have unlimited bombs and while we're here. Yeah, it was an unlikely situation, to be fair. This is a tricky one, man. Oh! You would never expect that. 2 items from 2 adjacent nubs with a health upgrade to boot. So yeah, I mean, we want Blood Clot. We want Placenta. Why? Because I do. Okay, but the damage upgrade from Blood Clot, half of our tiers do double damage. It's like the 2020 thing. It's good. And I'm, again, in like, actually no position to be mad about it at all. But we would love some raw statistical improvement. We have an 18% deal with the devil. If possible, I would prefer not to squander that. I put us in a really, really tough position on that dodge. There was a much better way to approach that probably leads to me being 20 times safer. We might not make the hush fight. Dude, Succubus, take out the nub. Dang. Please, please, please. No, we kind of bricked it, honestly. So we're going to miss the hush fight, but there is a bright side. Isaac's going to eat this chaos card. The dude is done. Just might as well get to a half heart as we head down to the next floor, or head up to the next floor, rather. They are dead set on not improving our base damage on this run. And if you still think, like, that's not something worth complaining about, giving the Blood Clot pickup, on most runs, and this is just a study of, you know, society. This is not like a mathematical analysis. On most runs, you would pick up Blood Clot, you'd be like, oh, cool, Blood Clot. On this run, we're like, Blood Clot has come to save us! So, you know, that perception should tell you a little bit about the statistical look of this run right now. I.e., it's weird. So we got tons of hearts. That means we should definitely go into this room. It's nothing, but, I mean, the fly's not insignificant. Oh, thank you, Placenta? Or maybe I walked over a heart. I just didn't really see. I think it was Placenta. Don't squander hearts. Like, don't take damage unnecessarily. These hearts may come in extreme handy later. The ideal situation here, by the way, is we get a Yara rune that drops. Yara rune drops. We use our Chaos card to kill Isaac, go back to wherever the Yara rune is, and take that down to the next floor. Because I don't think 4 items are going to do it. If we're talking about this run, it's got almost no chance of being like a great run. It could be a fun run with a good combination of 4 items. A couple items will just do it by itself, but you know, if we get Ipecac, we're probably set, for example. Sorry, I just had to rub my eye a little bit there. I don't like these enemies. Oh, I thought we could beat the system there. 3.5 damage. When your luck starts to outcrest your damage, you know something's gotten terribly awry. I'm stunned. I'm lost for words. I'm at a loss for words. That's probably the expression. Like, what do you say about this run I haven't complained about already? Did we get Contract from Below, or was that on our last run? That might have been on our last run. I'd be happy to have it if it showed up because, you know, our luck stat is fine. Being able to double our chests would be really useful. But at the present moment, we're really... I mean, we're lucky we got 6 HP, because we can have a little bit more leeway to make the world work, but... I mean, we are sincerely just sort of eating it right now. It's just not good. I'm not taking it out on 2020. If I did a power rankings, 2020 still up there, dude. 2020... You know what? 2020? 2020. I'd vote for it. See, that's a joke about it running in an election. You're probably saying, why'd you say an election instead of the American presidential election? Other countries are going to have elections in 2020. You jerk. It's very presumptuous of you. Okay, no, ha. Yeah, maybe, you know, you're asking, hey, you want to come over for a potluck? And then I drive all the way across the city and you go, oh, did you... sorry, I forgot to get any food. I thought you were going to bring it all. That's, I mean, the metaphor makes no sense, but you... Is this... It is spun. Okay, our first damage upgrade. And then, our next damage upgrade. Now we have 10 damage. These are good items. Good enough to make the run easy? No. But I think good enough to make the run win. If we were in a dicey spot to begin with. So it is... We still have the base rate of fire. And base rate of fire 10.5 damage is not even like... it might be like 7.5 out of 10 level. But it's definitely not 9. But 2020 does pull it back a minute. Yeah, we might be in like the 8 range now with 2020. And, you know, Outbreak is doing a little bit less heavy lifting now. That's because it has to do less heavy lifting now. Enemies are so much tankier and... fewer and far between on most rooms. Can't spread as easily. But we gotta stay vigilant, basically. We're a perfect match for Ragman. Like, Ragman is gonna get pooped on. Luck? Nah. We need more drops. I mean, we would like more drops. We're gonna win at this point. I'd give us like a 95% chance to win, which is not really cocky. That's kind of like the average win chance, I think, on most Isaac runs. So, I think we're up there now. But this was a slog. Hopefully it was at least entertaining at times, because the quality of the run is quite poor. Temperance is kind of an interesting get right now. You might be saying, well, you should play it because you have Bloody Penny and then you got Yum Heart, you know, in case the Bloody Penny stuff doesn't work out that well. And you're not wrong, but the problem is that there's no reason. Like, what are we looking for? Blood Bag? We get to 7 HP. We're already at the speed cap. Like, it provides us with very little benefit unless we get sacks instead of pennies. So, if we were at like 2 HP, I think I'd have to start thinking about it, because getting that 3rd level of HP might be useful, although it would be riskier to play in the first place. But at 6 HP, we're doing fine, and we're probably gonna bring this one home. It's just one of those runs where you're like, okay, I mean, thanks for the help. Could you have spread out the damage upgrades so I got one? Well, you know, we weren't on the chest. It's just less time to experience doing decent damage, and also. Like, man, some of these rooms were a tall freaking order. But we made it. Thank you to Succubus, Outbreak, and 2020 for really making the dream work on that one. We'll finish this run, go get my blood pressure back to normal, and hopefully on the next run we're not quite as doomed. Quite as doomed. Bombs. I mean, we should go for the... well, that's terrible. I was gonna say we should go for the virus. I was missing with some of these 2020 shots, and that was ill-advised. Luck? You can give me some luck? You're not giving me any luck. You're giving me Steam Sale. It's like a why pick it up, why not pick it up sort of situation. Speed down. I mean, you could take it as like a joke. What we could do with Temperance is, I mean, if we have extra HP, there's sort of no reason not to do it except for, you know, at some point, you've got to factor in the value that you'd expect to get worth, like, versus the amount of your own life that you're going to trade to it. Like, I'm giving you minutes out of my life to play this blood bank that I will never get back unless we invent, you know, Immortal Life or something like that. Emotin Joe, in Mouth's words. But, I mean, we could eat it on this room, to be honest with you. There's a lot of eyes. Shh, there's eyes everywhere. Like, so we have a resource to play it, but, like, what's the point? Oh, dude, please, I'm begging you. Yumheart, you've been so good, but to get, it's a great Outbreak play, by the way, but to get, Shoop da Whoop here, I'd be the happiest of all campers. Alright, well, you know, it wasn't like I was invested in the chance of getting that item or anything like that. I mean, I was just hoping that I could kill enemies without it taking 100 years, but I guess, you know, we should all be so lucky. Who wants to live forever? That's not how Freddie Mercury sounds. This is an old-timey radio announcer. Perilous news! The Hindenburg's gone down. Do a whole episode in that voice? I will have no throat left by the end of that. But I appreciate your desire for fresh content, don't get me wrong. Okay, we should open that, because every item is a blind bag chance at happiness, and that's not gonna do it. It might be a passive, but at this point, I want to win with as little as possible, or get an amazing item, because if we win with as little as possible, I can take more credit. Oh, you are gonna get so highly dusted. Blue baby, highly dusted. Do-do-do-do-do. And that's what you get for giving me no damage. Count the tears ups that we're giving. It's easy to do because there's none. Don't even, you know what? Give me the Void Floor so I can deny you the same way you denied me happiness here. Okay, well, anyway, that's a win. And as always, had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. And I'll see you next time.